Does it feel too suggestive for me to tie my halter like this? Hey Hoties, welcome back to my channel. My name is hautemesstom, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. I went into the archives, meaning I just went into my drawer, and I pulled out all the makeup that I want to use this summer, because I definitely have like there's a tectonic plate inside me and it shifts and I go and then it's like it's summertime colors. So that's what we're gonna be doing today, is we're gonna be playing with some of my old makeup. I don't know what the fuck I just said. So we're gonna play with some of the makeup that I want to focus on this summer. Just talk you through it, catch you up on my life. If you are new to my channel, hi, welcome. My channel is all about loving my makeup collection as it currently is, while, being critical, and I still do bring makeup into my collection. Like, I do love to do reviews, but I just try to be really discerning about what I do review. I try to make sure that I am really bringing things in that I think I'm going to like and that I think are going to add a lot of value to my collection and what I like to do and how I like my makeup to look. So if that kind of content sounds good to you, I would love to have you subscribe. Make sure you like this video, because that's the best way to help me or any other creator that you appreciate. And I am also on patreon.com if you would like to take it one step further, but there is no pressure to. I'm just so happy that you are here. Thank you to all of my current patrons for making videos like this happen. How about that khaki video? Am I right? Am I right? We're getting into the warmer months, right? Like the windows in my house are open. It's maybe a skosh too cold for that, but like we're airing it out. We're getting the bad, gross juju out of the house right now. We're just letting nature take its course. So that's what's happening right now. The window, I mean, not in my room, because I don't want any of that sound to get to you in your sensitive little ear holes. And no one ever has complained about the quality of my audio before, but in my head, I'm very self-conscious about it. And I'm very self-conscious that someone's gonna say something. And the thing is, even if someone said anything, I'm like not gonna do anything to deter it. Yes, I am concerned about it, but no, I'm not gonna do anything about it. And that is how we have a hot girl summer. We're getting our bodies to the people. As you all know, I love a cool tone moment, but we're in the pink era, and we're also in the bronze era, because it's almost summertime, right? We need to bronze. We want to be bronzy, goldy. We're gonna get into those tones a little bit more. We're leaving a little bit of the grays, the purples behind us as we enter summer. Not that you can't do whatever you want with makeup. I was just like thinking about my makeup, and I thought about two things specifically that made me think it's almost time. Like very much Mariah Carey going, it's but like whistle tones, which I can't do. Well, I can if I'm drunk or if I'm really dehydrated when I wake up. And I'm not actually like lying about that. It just like is a thing. Like if you're I don't know. I don't think Mariah Carey's dehydrated, but I think she's just a more skilled singer than I. But these are the two things I thought of. This is Chantecaille's Ray, which I thought of immediately today. I was like, oh, I can't wait to wear that. So I bought this actually in the dead of winter. I bought this in December after everyone else. But this was like a limited edition thing from last year. Although occasionally I can still find it on sale. So maybe it is permanent. Like you can still buy it on Chantecaille's website, or last I checked. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but it's been a while since I've worn this and then tried to link it. So who knows? But that's not what this video is about. It's not about selling you things. It's about loving things. So if you have Ray, maybe it's time for you to start pulling Ray out. And we're going to double up on blush today, which I don't do so often, but we're going to. But I also thought of Desert Orchid from Pat McGrath. And these two things are designed to go together. I shit you not. If you have both of these, I think that they are one. They go, they're not the same, but they go. So we're going to play with both of those. I have one new piece of makeup that we're gonna play with today, but that's not gonna be until we're on the skin. And I start with my eyes, so let's get going. I went to a drag show this weekend, which is always so fun. Oh my God, if you've never been to a drag show, well, they're a little bit scary to go to now, especially if you live in a scary place. Also just existing. I highly recommend you go to a drag show. Literally, while I said this out loud to my friend while I was at the drag show, I was just like, I can't believe people don't want to just refuse to enjoy this. And I understand that the whole conversation about like these drag bills is more to come for trans people, it's less about drag performers. But even using drag queens as like the scapegoats of your mission here, it's like, drag is so fun. Like why on earth are you trying to take that away? Also, I left my house at 10 p.m. I mean, if you saw me on Instagram, you saw that I left my house. I'm so bad about like following up about where I went. I took no photos. I was just like living in the moment, and my friend was performing, and me and my friend Tiffany went to surprise him because he knows that our bedtime is like 8 p.m. So it was like fun. It was like fun. And also Tiffany has a new friend and they brought them along, so I got to meet them as well. All in good fun. We had a great time. It was Nicktoons themed. We'll come to the drag story in just a second. him. But I did this all off camera. I talked about it I've talked about it a couple times in videos. But what I did is kind of depotted all of my Natasha Denona shadows, and I'm using them as singles so I can like BYO palettes, and maybe we'll build some summer palettes because we did that in the fall and everyone had a lot of fun doing that. Overhead videos scare me. I do them. You guys like them. I don't love making them. I don't hate making them. I just get nervous making color stories because I don't know. I just don't feel like I have, like, I am not Lauren May Beauty. I don't have an eye to like come up with a color story. Like duping a color story is like a lot different than like coming up with one. I took out all of my Natasha Denona shades because that's what I use them for the most. I did leave the gold palette intact. And I think the gold palette is so good for summer. Like we have all these bronzes, all these golds. We have toppers. If I'm gonna do warm tones, they gotta be interesting. Grungy warm tones, that's where it's at. And so that's why I picked the gold palette for today's look. I almost went, oh, and I don't know why. I'm like feeling spacey. I'm energized. I'm very excited. That's like a meme. That's like, I don't know why I said that. Like, okay, on All Stars 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race, BB Zahara Benet, there's this talking head they cut to her, and she goes, I'm very excited. And I think about it a lot. I didn't love BB on that season, but I think about that particular thing that BB said a lot. I'm like, I'm very excited. Or another RuPaul's Drag Race quote, wherever I'm excited, I go, I'm very excited, RuPaul. And it's like Pearl doing Big Ange in Snatch Game. Again, drag. So fun. What's the problem? I understand the problem. I know I'm no fool. Okay, I know what's going on here. How can you not have fun watching that? Oh my god, anyway. It was Nicktoons themed, and if you are like around my age, you would have been like, I might have been like a little bit too old because someone did an iCarly number and I was like, I'm vaguely aware of iCarly, but it was like a little too young for me. So I'm gonna walk you through the numbers, okay? Because they were so fun. So the first performer, and so any drag show I've gone to, and I don't know if this is the format a lot of drag performers do, but anything I've gone to has been like, there'll be like 4 to 5 performers, and then they'll do two performances each. So they'll do like, all of them will do one song, and then there'll be like a brief intermission for the performers to get ready for their second set, and then they'll do a second song. So the first performer did an iCarly number, and I was a little bit lost, but there was a section where she put tortillas in a microwave. There's something about meatballs involved with it. Again, not familiar with iCarly, but if you are and that rings a bell, there was a microwave that she just like rolled it out. She was just like, there's a microwave. I really wanted there to be meatballs inside, and I kind of wanted her to throw the meatballs at us, but then I realized I wasn't at a drag show that would be like that kind of thing, but I have been to drag shows where that would be like a thing that could happen. I wasn't dressed to have meatballs thrown at me. I was looking very cute. I was wearing my rhinestoned go-go boots, which is like always fun. This is why I left the gold palette intact. I love these eyeshadows. I really do. I'll talk a big game about, I mean, I guess I don't. I do feel indifferent to Natasha Denona these days after like everything that happened with Steven. I don't even know. Do you know? Because I don't know. I'm looking down and there's so many possibilities. This is how I feel every time I use this palette. The second performer was a drag king, and he performed as Chucky Finster. And I didn't know the song, but it was this very sexual song. And it was like, the whole like theme of it was like Chucky Finster like having his first sexual feelings. It was like if an anxiety-ridden person like had sexual feelings for the first time. It was very funny. It's very funny. He was very good because his second number was an absolute slay. Like, so many great performers that night, but the second number that he did was like so good. The third performer who came out, I'm gonna tell you how she was dressed, and I'm gonna let you try to figure out. So she was wearing all purple, had like a puffer vest on, had her hair up in braids, and she had glasses like kind of like in the braids as like part of the hair. And she performed, I think it's I'm That Bitch. I think it's a Missy Elliott song. I think that's the name of the song that she performed. Who is she? If you said As Told by Ginger, Courtney, the mean blonde girl, her best friend, and I can't remember her name, but that's who it was. It was about halfway through the number where I pulled out my phone and I Googled her. I got there and I turned around like, that's who she is. And I was so excited because I think As Told by Ginger is an incredibly underrated cartoon of the era that I grew up watching cartoons. Because it actually I felt like it was kind of really talking about something. And I feel like a lot of the other, not that other cartoons don't teach you moral things. It's kind of the point, right? They teach us a little bit about morality. But As Told by Ginger was teaching us life lessons in a very real way, but was still very fun to watch. She was very fun to watch. And then my friend David, who performs as Danielle and me, his first number, he was Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and he did like a mix of songs that were about like air, and it was very funny, and it was the burlesque number, so he did get naked. And I had mentioned this before about David. Whether or not you want to see David's body, you're gonna see David's body, even in a bar setting. But he had, I don't know if you will remember these, they make like air guns, and they're like these big things. It's almost like a stretchy trash bag on one end. You like pull it, and then like air bursts out of the other side. And I had one growing up. Me and my brother both had them. They're very fun, but David was very invested in what he was doing, and he did end up breaking it, which was very funny. And then the last performer was Max, another drag king. Okay, here's the thing. If you love RuPaul's Drag Race, and if you say you love drag, but you've like never encountered a drag king, let me tell you something. Obviously, it's kind of, as is the case for even some drag queens, some drag kings really phone it in. But the ones who are like good are so good. And I almost think it's because the reputation of drag kings is like people think that they can't be as like fun as a drag queen. They're just next level. So Max Starvania, I think is his name. He was also the host of the show. He did a Legends of the Hidden Temple number, and he was on the Barracudas, Blue Barracudas. And he's performed Barracuda by heart. And I was like, you're stupid. And that is the highest compliment anyone can get from me in drag. Oh, I mean, all of them. But like, Max was very stupid, was the winner of the stupid crown on this first round of, and I like laughed. Drag, that is what it is. At its core, it's just supposed to be fun. Oh, I think I went into the wrong one. Which one do I want to be in? This one. This is the one I want. So that was round one. Round two, the first performer, I don't think I knew. I think maybe this drag performer was younger than me. I really didn't understand what was, I mean, it was really fun to watch, but I didn't know who they were supposed to be. I do. It's still younger than me. It's from Victorious. She was like Liz Gilly's character from Victorious, and she did that really weird song that probably shouldn't have been in a Nickelodeon show. Oh God, she did such a good job. Ugh, so fun. The first drag king that did Chucky in the first part of the show, he rolled out in this thing. He rolled out in a wagon that he fashioned to look like a sandcastle, and he like had a blanket on his arm. He was Patrick Star, like a cone head, painted, well, not painted pink, but like basically was naked and had like pasties on. And the first song in the mix was the Lazy song from Bruno Mars. I'm adding a little bit of sparks onto this to make it even more sparkly. I'm gonna just go in with a finger. The gold palette. I feel like at one point there was like rumors that there was gonna be like a gold palette like revamp. I feel like I haven't heard anyone talk about that in a while, but that was like an ongoing rumor for a while. But I really hope it gets considered because I love this palette so stinking much. Not all of my palettes look this, used and abused, which is a great thing when it comes to an eyeshadow palette. It means you like really like it. But I thought it was important to keep those shadows together because I did like them. Okay, so he rolled out and then he undoes his blanket and he steps out and he's wearing, I was like, have you ever seen that meme of Patrick? I'll put it up here where he's like in the thigh high like stripper boots. He was wearing those, and then I think this is a song from SpongeBob. I'm not well versed in SpongeBob, but it was like about being a silly gooby goober. And that was like the song. I was screaming again. It's so stupid. I was laughing so hard. I was crying. David's second number was, he was like Chris Skylark from the Fairly Odd Parents, like the shiny teeth and me. And oh God, it was just so funny. And then Max's the last number of the night he was Quail Man from Doug. And it was very funny because the Doug theme song was the first part of the mix. And that's like, before, like you could, anyway, like there's not really words to the Doug theme song. But then I realized I was so much older than everyone in that moment because I was making the noises. Because you like, in the Doug theme song, there's like a lot of like, there's a lot of that. And then there's like a lot of, me and Tiffany were both doing that. And then I looked around the bar and realized that like no one was reacting to the Doug theme song. And I was like, everyone here is young. You all are babies. What was the other song in the mix? I didn't know. I see Ricky Lake. That song. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Okay, now we're getting into some other summertime. We're getting into summertime. We're getting into the skin. Remember last summer? If you were here last summer, I mean, my skin's always glossy. Like this isn't oil, baby. This is how my skin is. But we could do glowier. So I'm gonna use Auric Glow Lust is my primer. It's time. It's time! I feel like the Auric Glow Lust, like, I bought it at the end of last summer and I used it all the time until like winter. And I like haven't, like, I didn't use it a lot whenever winter hit. But like, I love using it as a primer, but I think it's just more suitable as a primer in the summertime. Also, like, I just love the way it looks on my skin. I might, you know, there will probably be days in the summer where I just wear it as a foundation-ish product. Like, some of you are screaming right now. Some of you are like, Tom, do not do it. I'm gonna do what I wanna do. Give it to me, baby. Oh, that's the song. Give it to me, baby. But it was very funny. I mentioned this at the end of my khaki video, but I still am thinking about it. I went to the bar to get another drink. Also, the bar we went to, the drinks were really cheap. I had never been to the bar that we went to. If you're in Pittsburgh, it was Brewers. So it's a strange setup for like a drag situation. And I knew it was a gay bar, but like the bartenders were so fine. They were so fine. Whenever a bartender is fine, well, especially in a straight setting, like if it's a man, if I'm like, that man is fine. He's normally mean to me or like doesn't treat me very well. And at the other gay bars, normally when there's a fine bartender, like a fine bartender, they don't give a flying fuck about me. And you know what? Fair enough. I don't really care. But these two bartenders were like very attentive to me. They, you know, I don't want to assume their intelligence, but they just seem like big, stupid muscle gays. And I love it. Moving right along. What are we putting on top of this? Well, I only have one concealer, so I think we should start there. We're going to start with the Luminous Silk Concealer. I have been enjoying, like, really putting my concealer on first under my eyes and then putting my foundation on over top of it. And also in the summertime, just because of, like, the nature of the beast, I like to just keep it lighter in general. Like, obviously, I'll probably end up wearing a lot of makeup in this video. You know, start there and then put your foundation around it. It all blends together. I think it just blends in better. I just think that's what it blends in better. Okay, so here's what I'm looking forward to using this summer on my skin as like a foundation. Obviously, very much looking forward to continuing my relationship with the Chanel Sublimage Le Ton, which I have used on camera a couple of times, but to get the best look at it, watch the khaki video. We're gonna swing back to that. Like, that is not the last time you're gonna see the Chanel Sublimage. Like, I think it will get its own foundation review. I do think with the other foundations I have, I think we're just gonna do like one video and pump it out, and then I can provide more details to you in that video, or if you want to see more about a specific foundation, I'll just use it a little bit more. I'm tired of looking at them in my drawer. I know that the time is done, and I just like, you know, I need to like get on that. This is the Rose Inc Skin and Hands Luminous Tinted Serum. So this is what we're working with. They were having a sale, and my friend Daria on Instagram, A Variety of Distractions, has a promo code with them. And so she was like, what is that called? You can use both. They'll stack the promo codes. And I was like, that's very cool, because this on its own, at the price point it is, I was like, I don't know if I like am willing to spend, I think it's like close to $50 or something like that. I don't know if I'm ready to spend $50. And I know that this is really close to the Chanel water tint. I bought this out of curiosity, and a lot of people have told me that I would like the Chanel water tint. Chanel water tint, I think, comes in like 3 or 4 shades, and it is very light coverage. This comes in more shades, and I just think, you know, if we're gonna do it, we might as well do it with a brand that has more options for people, like if it's the same kind of product. But it's like this, it's like these pigment things suspended in like a gel serum, and I've been liking applying it with my hands, which is not always my favorite thing to do. I just think I have been, really the times that I've been using this have been whenever I like didn't want to wear makeup. I will just throw this on just to make my skin like a little more perfected, because it's not one of those products that like sucks away the life, you know, just like really takes everything out of you. It has that glossy finish, which we're looking for on top of a thing that's also, you know. While I have been enjoying this, I appreciate that I paid the amount of money that I paid for it. Thinking about spending more than that on it is, you know, I'm not sure that I would. But I got it like, what? It was 25% off, and then Daria's code was another 20%. And so whatever that percentage adds up to be. The only thing is, I probably could have gone for the next lightest shade. It does feel like a little bit light, but you know me, we're not done messing around with my face. It'll probably look more it'll look more intuitive to the color. But like, it's just, look at this, as Evanescence once said, bring me to life. I feel like it just looks really good. Super light coverage. And I have played with it with a brush, and I haven't played with a sponge yet, but I think a hand's the way to go. So I think if you're a hand application person and like this is kind of what you're looking for, this could be like a product to throw on your wish list and like maybe try down the line if you haven't tried it yet. I also know that Jane Iredale makes a foundation like this. I used to work at a salon that sold Jane Iredale. Obviously contour because I'm trying to get rid of this. Maybe by the end of summer. Maybe that'll be our goal by the end of summer. And I'll probably end up wearing more makeup in the summer, which is so counterintuitive. I sweat my makeup off so fast. There's really no point in me wearing makeup unless it's in the evening. I am gonna try to commit to leaving my house more in the evening. And I know that sounds like such a strange thing. And I don't want to, I'm not saying that in like, I want to start like staying up later, like all of the time. A couple weekends in a row, I have gone out in the evening, right? And I've gone out at night, pretty late for me. And and not that I want to go out all the time either, but I just feel like I have been very dismissive to myself about like, I do enjoy spending time with people sometimes. And I need to acknowledge that and also feed that part of me. So I went out last weekend 2 nights in a row. And then, 2 weekends ago, I went out both weekend nights, so like Friday and Saturday. And I've had a good time both nights, you know, really great time. And I just feel like I had a couple drinks, and like a couple drinks isn't expensive, but like going all out every weekend is like, I just think I have it in me to like, you know, go out a little bit more. And again, just like more casually going out. And I think Tiffany, who I went out with, I think both of us really enjoyed the fact that we like did that. And like, while we are both people who are like creatures of habit and like really like staying in like is like the go-to thing, it was just like, I don't know, I felt good. And I was like, well, the weather's getting warmer. It's like, you know, I'm starting to feel all those good things. And I was like, we need to ride that, because I feel like this winter has been pretty atrocious for my emotional well-being. And I'm just not looking to carry that into the summer. I didn't even tell you what I was doing. So this is the Chanel Healthy Glow Bronzer. This is Soleil Deep Tan. It is a very like red based bronzer. For summertime, this is the girl. This is who I want to be, right? It's a little too intense for me in the winter, and I definitely have found bronzers that I like better in the winter, but I still love this bronzer. And I just used it in the video with Khaki, and I was like, it's her time. It's her time to come back out. Also, like a little bit of a glow, a little bit of a healthy glow, the Healthy Glow Bronzer, but it lives up to that name. A little bit of perfecting. Like I'm ready to pull her out. I'm ready to see more usage. Like, look at that. We're starting to scrape off the embossing on the sides, but I think it's because I'm using this big ass brush. And I hate that I like this brush. I don't always use it for bronzer, but for this bronzer specifically, I think it is maybe the best route for me to go. The only thing I have a little bit of issues with is really picking up product evenly on it and then like dispersing it evenly. Like, I like the way it looks like once it's on, almost like I should apply it like maybe with my finger or like something else or something, maybe a more dense brush, and then buff it out with this. Might be the way for me to go. I did this side and I like the way it looks. And now I feel like I'm putting a lot more product on this side, but it's not really the case. It's just because I feel like this doesn't pick up product very evenly. And I think it's supposed to be a foundation brush, but now I've been using it as bronzer, and we'll put the leftover on our body. I'm excited to like do more things this summer. I don't need it to be like extravagant new things. I just more things. I keep saying I want to get my body to the people, but I can't get my body to the people if that body is living in this house exclusively, right? So I'm working on that. The other thing though is if I do trudge out into the world, a very big personal fear of mine right now is running into one of my exes. And not that like I think he would actually cause me physical harm, but I think there would be some psychological damage from seeing him in public because I don't think I would know what to do. I want to go out for Pride. I really do. I really want to go out for Pride. My powders are the same, so I'm not going to run through them, but they're the usual powders if you're interested in what they are. I use 3 different powders on my face. I don't know. I have been really in my head about that. Like, I was like, when I was at the drag show, I was like, he's going to randomly be at this drag show. He wasn't. But then I realized this is a little bit of a read, and it's not a very nice thing to say. And I'm spilling business that I maybe shouldn't. I mean, it's not that. It's like not personal. You're not going to figure out who he is based on this. But like, you know, I made him more fun. And I know that about me. And I think he does things that he thought were fun sometimes, but like I made him fun. And so I don't know why I keep thinking that I'll find him at fun places, and why am I denying myself joy? And it's not, you know, just him. I have a lot of other fears. Like I take it very seriously the way that queer people are being treated in our country right now. Not that like Pittsburgh is like a hub for it, but you know, as things get more violent in the rest of America, it just means that the people who are already vocal in Pittsburgh are just going to also increase. And that's just like a very real fact. So like at our Pride, there's like maybe 5 people who protest Pittsburgh Pride every year. But I imagine that this year there are going to be more of them, and there might be scarier. Just, you know, by the nature of the way things are going right now. And I hate to like, you know, give us all whiplash by talking about these things, but they are like very real considerations. And this summer, I'm gonna be still as much of a as I am on any other day. I gotta keep in mind that that is also a dangerous thing to think. And I shouldn't, right? It doesn't feel right to you, right? That I should have to consider that. It doesn't feel right to me either. But it is just the reality of being queer in America now. Something that's really important to like consider is that, well, obviously we're never guaranteed to come home when we walk out our door, anytime we leave our home. It feels like much more like of a likelihood than it ever has that I could leave my house and not come home because an act of violence was taken upon me or near me. It might not even, it could be something that's completely unrelated to me too at this point. Like, it's just scary to leave the house. Isn't that, it's like wild that it feels, that's how I feel though. It really is. Here's what I have decided. While I am scared, while I am fearful, while those are all things that they're true and honest and they're feelings that are inside of me, that was the Kaleidos Contour Symphony Trio. I didn't really highlight it. That's not like most important for me to use in the summertime because it's just contour. I have a couple contour powders. This is just one that I have yet to finish my review on. So now that we powdered, well, that looked really wet before. The powder, we reined it in, but we're still glowy where we need the glow. Now I'm going to use Ray from Chantecaille. The thing was, this came out and I talked poorly about it, but then a bunch of people that I hold in high regard ended up buying it and like really liked it. So Lauren May Beauty bought it and she was like, this is good. I don't know why it's good, but it's good. Khaki bought it. She said, this is really good. And then my friend Brittany, also known as Born Blushing. My friend Brittany, Born Blushing here on YouTube, she bought it and she said, I think you'd like it. And that's enough people that I trust and like I know how I feel about their recommendations where I was like, I probably will really like it. So I use it more as a blush. I know some people use it as a bronzer. I know that people who are deeper than me use it as a highlight. But I think there's some just rosiness into it that like really allows itself as a blush. Like, I'll just zoom you in because it's going to be hard to see. But like right here, it's like, you know, you can see that rosiness to it, but it's still warm. I'm gonna add a little more. And then it also has a little bit of the razzle dazzle. We love a glow. It's summertime, we're glowing. But look at what that did to my face. Look at that, look at what that did to the side of my face. I'm really excited about the summer. I mean, Beyonce, but that's like not until the end of summer. But I don't want to be in my house all summer. I'm ready. I don't know, not really to make friends because I don't know that that's true, but I just really, I feel like I've been suffocating myself to protect myself from something. And like, that's not 100% my ex's fault, by the way. I did use him as an example of a thing that I'm trying to avoid. There are like plenty of things that I'm trying to avoid that like do not include him at all. Okay, so now I'm going to take Desert Orchid, which I know that people have their feelings about the Pat McGrath blushes and everyone's like flirtatious. That's the one that you'll like. No. I mean, I probably would like flirtatious more than I think I would because I do like the blushes with the je ne sais quoi. But I feel like I'd feel more like Hannah about flirtatious than khaki. I bought this because unlike Hannah, I like things that turn Unlike Hannah, I like when things turn orange on my skin. So Desert Orchid is just like the most incredible flush of something. Just on the front part of my cheek, blending it into Ray. Are you kidding? It has a little bit of rosiness to it too, but like it just is everything. I also have Electric Bloom from Pat McGrath in blushes, and it's like a very bright coral, which I also really love, but it's not as special as Desert Orchid. Desert Orchid is she's a special gal. Ooh, I didn't pick out a highlighter. I realized that I also have Glow Lust on, which is doing me some favors, and I know that some of you think that I could stop here. Let's use this. I actually use this a lot. This is the Tarte Skin Twinkle Volume 2, and I just like go into these 2 lighter shades. I feel it in my soul that I will hit pan on these, like at some point. Maybe this year. I'm just gonna apply that a little bit over. I don't know that I'm gonna do too much highlight today, which is weird for me to say, but sometimes I go a little too hard on these and then it starts looking a little icy, which is obviously not the goal. And I'm also going to put this highlight on the inner corner. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I rotate through my highlights pretty well. I think I need to give my Ritual Defeat ones a little bit more love, which I could have considered before I grabbed that. There's a thing about packaging size, though, and the Ritual Defeat ones are smaller than the other ones, so I think my eye, like, will get drawn to that. And I also pull out the Lit highlighter from Milk Makeup a lot. Jessie Ware is releasing a new album. I started singing Soul Control in my head just now. I'm excited. It's gonna be another disco album, though. So I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna feel different enough from What's Your Pleasure, but we'll find out. I'm gonna be a ready and willing participant of a Jessie Ware album, as I always am. Okay, I'm gonna spray my face with some Fix Plus. Oh, I want to tell this story because I went, you know, at the drag show. So in the intermission, there was a gay person, a queer person. I don't want to assume their gender, but they seemed very like masculine presenting. And Cher was playing, and they were lip syncing to the Cher song. And they were like, there's not really a stage in Brewers. It looks like a hallway that you're sitting in, and the drag performers perform in the middle of the hallway. So they were kind of taking up space. And like, again, the performers weren't performing. It doesn't matter. But they looked like they were having a great time. And I had my dollar bills ready, and I tried to tip them one of my dollars. And then this person next to me said, "Don't encourage that." And then I said, "Fuck off. Let them have fun. This is fine." They were not being disruptive to anything else going on. They were just living their best life. Were they giving main character energy? Absolutely. All of us give main character energy at inappropriate times, but that was not an inappropriate time. It was perfectly acceptable for them to be doing that. This person was just mad that they couldn't have as much fun as them. And I was like, I said, you need to fuck off. Let people have their fun. This is harmless fun. Let it happen. Fuck off. Let people have their fun. That's your message for the day. Okay, I'm gonna put Cocoa on from Victoria Become. I always forget that I have this one. I'm gonna put Sequin Green on. Now, Khaki did say this, and I never once consider it, but she was like, maybe you're not supposed to put these on your waterline. Well, I'm gonna. That's the stuff dreams are made of. So this is the satin, maybe I should make a concerted effort to use this summer. The satin Congeal Jewel Liner in Sequin Green from Victoria Beckham. Which, I mean, I guess at this point, if I'm using an eyeliner, just like, unless I say otherwise, assume it's one of the Victoria Beckham ones. I'm gonna buy more. Lash Clash from YSL. I think I might switch to in June or July, whenever I'm done with this. I think I'm gonna go back to the Tarte one. Probably better for the sweatier weather than this. While I love this one, if I do get too sweaty, it transfers because it makes my lashes long enough to touch the my brow area, which, I mean, I know has no eyebrows on it. It does leave just like black dots. When Tiffany moves in, I just think that I'm gonna be seeing people more in general because, well, Tiffany has more friends. Tiffany is also on like a journey to make friends, and I mean, I applaud them for that. So I guess there'll just be more people around. I'm not gonna like butt into all of the things that they do, but like, you know, I probably will just have more people over because it's like I'll be living with a friend as opposed to my brother. And like, I always felt like when my brother lived here that like this was more of his space. So I just felt like I don't know. I don't always like want to have my friends over. Do you know what I mean? Now that I'll be like living with like more of like a friend situation, I'm hoping that I will have more people over. Wow, look at me. I was born to be broad. And you know what I haven't really been using in a while? And I think I like it better for the summer just because of the formula. Merit 1990. It belongs on this face. What do I want to smell like? What do I want to smell like this summer? The answer is Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. This is a body oil, but it does smell like La Fragrance. Oh, and it's sparkly. Sparkly. When we get our bodies to the people, they should look like Edward Cullen. Look at that. Oh, smell me. Ooh. Sometimes I wonder just the sounds I make are like enough to get me age restricted, because sometimes I realize as I start feeling my oats, it just starts sounding a little more serious than it is. I bought this years ago, 2016. And I'm not even done with it, but I use this a lot in the summertime because it smells like suntan lotion, but the good suntan lotion memories. That's what it feels like. It smells like to me. I know it's like suntan lotion's like not a fragrance that everyone wants to smell like, but I love it. It reminds me of my childhood, but it's also glittery. I want to look like this all summer. What are some of the products that you are looking forward to bringing back out of your collection? Wait, I do want to know, what are you looking forward to pulling back out in the summertime because it feels like a seasonal product to you? I want to know. Anyway, that wraps up this video. If you are new here and you enjoyed today's video and you want to subscribe, now's as good a time as any. Make sure you like this video because that does help me in the algorithm. And I am also on patreon.com if you'd like to support me. But again, there's no pressure to. Just so happy that you watched this video all the way through. Left a like and a comment. That's so plenty. And again, thank you to my current patrons. Y'all are fab. And that's it. Remember to follow your haute and you will find me. I will see you in a video very, very soon. Bye-bye. Forever.